Say yes to yourself. Yes, I am protected. Yes, I am master. I am yes. Greetings and welcome, family, to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. I am your host, Brother Unc Rising Sun, also known as Cousin Hinky, Uncle Hinky. And tonight we're going to have a very special show dealing with jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is something that we all going to address while here in the corporate United States. And our brother Muhammed Bey, who I call Professor Bey, is going to be explaining jurisdiction. But before we bring him on, let's do our opening invocation. And I always say thank you, audience who are here with us now and in the future. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of your youth. And may you remember the second most important date is the date that you realize what you was born to do, the mission you have for this lifetime to make this dream reality better as we become dream masters every day in every way. And with that being said, understanding that we have a situation while we are incarnation of a spacesuit with monkey mind amnesia of our past lifetimes. And what we do in one lifetime affects, echoes through the halls of time into our present incarnation. Even the Bible speaks of 7 generations of what our ancestors may have done for better or worse will ripple down through their offspring 7 generations. And that's a significant amount of time. So that we have to say, yes, I am forgiving everybody and everything in my past lives. And I ask that everyone and everything to forgive me in my past lives because I don't remember. And in this life, family, we have to say, yes, I am forgiving everyone in this life and everything in this lifetime. And I ask that everyone and everything in this lifetime to please forgive me. Because we are living in a dream reality like the movie Inception, dreams within delusional states and incarnations of dream mire that may carry from lifetime to lifetime until we become onion rings of dreams. Each of us are like onion rings of dreams, some good and some not so good. So what we have to do is call on our I am within our hearts, call on our divinity within our hearts, because we, you, I, me, we are the divine beings with amnesia, and we can bend and free ourselves from the amnesia and the karmic debts of our ignorant ancestors. Not all of them were ignorant, but there's plenty that were, that put us in a situation that we are today. Some better than others, and some better than some not so good. So we have to call upon that forgiveness to release the burden. And now we call on the forces of nature after we've done the forgiveness affirmations. I am in me. I am in you, the listening audience. I am in the sea of life. We call on Elegba to open the way and welcome him into our show. We call on the goddess of love, known by many names, to be a part of our show tonight. We call on Mother Ocean, Yemaya, to be a part of our show tonight, to be with us on the show. We call on Oya to be with us, Shango, Olokun, Ogun, Ochosi. We call on Obatala to be with us. And we say Ashe. We call on our ascended master brothers and sisters. We call on Imhotep, Ptahotep. Call on Akhenaten, his higher self, his pure light beings, our Black Madonna, Mother Mary, White Buffalo Calf Woman. We call on Chief Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, Chief Seattle, Harriet Tubman. We call on in the name of love to be with us tonight. Shroom Master Dr. Sabi, Shroom Master George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass. We call upon Nat Turner, John Brown to be with us tonight. Shaka Zulu, be with us tonight. Credo Mutwa, South African Zulu shaman, be with us tonight. We invite Kalindi Aye to be with us tonight. We call on P.B. Randolph to be with us tonight. Melchizedek to be with us. Yeshua, we call upon various forces of ascended masters of the star system Sirius, the star system Orion, Pleiades, to intervene upon this chicken farm prison planet Earth spinning in cycles around our star. We ask for divine intervention, for monkey mind illumination to make a world a better place than when we were born. We ask the presence of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We ask Seraphis Bey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We call on Archangel Metatron to be with all the listening audience. Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Saint Germain, come and be with us tonight. Nikolai Tesla, be with us tonight. Townsend Brown, be with us tonight. I'm even going to ask Victor Grebennikov, who dealt with scarab levitation technology. Welcome and be with us tonight. Shroom masters, ayahuasca, medicine people who are walking in the rhythm of love supreme, be with us on this show tonight. And we say together, Ashe. Okay, time to call our brother. Let's see. Where is he? There he is, right there. All right, brother. Here comes Professor Bey. Calling him now.
Peace to God.
Peace to my I am. Peace to the gods, who I am. Yes, I am. Okay, let me adjust the microphone.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brother, do your thing.
Can you hear me clear?
Nice and clear.
Thank you, sir. Once again, let me just get into my little prayer with this, and then we'll be on our way, family. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. I bear witness that there is no deity but Allah. anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah. Come to prayer, come to prayer. Hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah. Come to your good, come to your good. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest, Allah is the greatest. La ilaha illallah. There is no deity but Allah. Hayya ala falah. Come to your good. As-salatu kahram min an-ni'am. As-salatu kahram min an-ni'am. Prayer is better than sleep. Prayer is better than sleep. Thank you, family. Now we're going to proceed into the show. I thought this was very important to bring up why jurisdiction is important for protection of debtor, express trust, trust protector, trustee, and beneficiaries. Now, I brought that up for so many reasons. And I think still with a lot of us, we have this fear of where we are, who we are, and what the United States is and the United States of America. Now, a lot of people are worried about whenever this COVID is lifted, that they're going to be foreclosed on, kicked out. That might be so for a lot of people, but not those ones who have set themselves up properly into the express trust. Now, why did you all, for all those who have done it, why did you all authenticate that birth certificate? You authenticated the birth certificate is because this is what took us out of our status, our true names, our true race, and our true nationality, which is Moors, Aborigines, America's Aboriginal nations, to the land. So you authenticated the birth certificate in your state, which is where it was created, in your county, and then given to the state of, which is a corporation. Then you did what you call an authentication on the state level or the county. Or some people you had to do it on your county and the state. Then once you did it on those levels, you had to send it to the federal level to have it authenticated. And then once that was done, it was issued back to you. And then you had to do what you call a counter deed. Now, what is a counter deed? A secret writing, either before a notary or under a private seal, which destroys and validates or alters a public one. Because on all the birth certificate, the state has their seal on it. Now, you did this also because once it was transferred back from the federal level, your straw man and all that came with it, the debtor. And now when you did the counter deed on it, you took it from the state now. And then you had to take it and put it into your trust on a non-UCC lien. Now, it would also be used as prima facie evidence in equity court to show cause for corruption of your blood from being a Moor, America's Aboriginal National, and the taking of your title of nobility, Allah, Ali, Bey, Day, El, etc. Remember, the birth certificate originated from the certificate of live birth. Not the birth certificate first, but the certificate of live birth. That has, there was an event that had to happen first before a birth certificate could be created. Now, the certificate of title is not real title. This is why we authenticate the birth certificate. The certificate of title is not something that shows ownership, but it shows you have a lien. This further means you have a lien ownership in the property. Your straw man has a birth certificate, which is a lien. So your straw man is a slave that cannot own anything outright. That's why you must give it protection. And yes, your debtor, your straw man can transfer property. I don't want to just say it. I mean, let me just read something to you all. Because most of us, we continue to live out of our fear. Now, just bear with me a minute, family.
Take your time, brother. Family, you see at the bottom of the ticket, our brother is taking time to sacrifice his precious minutes, hours, days. Sacrifice to bring a little bit of light to the massive miseducation, doctrination you've had from the cradle and damn near to the grave. So he's given us a few minutes, a tidbit of information. Study to show thyself approved. And some of us, we like that comical guy who thinks he can box and he decided to get in the boxing ring with real boxers and get his ass knocked out. Some of us are lazy to study until the moment of truth comes and they fold up like a deck of cards in the courts and in the corporate offices by way of either telephone or direct interview because you got some kind of programming that hasn't been addressed. And you show that you haven't studied and you don't believe in your Moorish indigenous birthright. It takes time to reprogram your monkey mind slave ego. So don't think you're going to listen to this show and run off and take on Babylon. Call the brother at the number 786-624-8257 or email him, Mr. Bey, 33169@gmail.com. Even Marcus Garvey spoke of how trifling our people can be. But we ain't going to touch on that just yet. Please continue, Professor.
Thank you, sir. When does a debtor have rights in the collateral under Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code? Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code, family, is their law that governs them. Okay, let's keep that in mind. The Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code applies to any transaction, regardless of its form, that is intended to create a security interest in personal property or fixtures. The creation of a security interest is specifically governed by Section 9-203. The code lists 3 requirements for an enforceable security interest: an agreement creating the security interest, as evidenced either by the secured party possessing the collateral or by the debtor signing a security agreement describing the collateral. B, value must be given. And C, the debtor must have rights in the collateral. There is no specific order in which these requirements must be met, but it is essential that they all be fulfilled. Now, let me go here. This is from Marquette Law Review. This is what I'm reading from, okay? Now, the quantum element. Now you say, well, what is that, the quantum element? I never heard of that. Now, what that means, quantum means a required or allowed amount. That's what it means, okay? Now, before giving value in reliance, that certain collateral will secure the debt. The secured party should first determine whether the debtor has rights in collateral. The code, however, does not define the meaning of the phrase right in the collateral. The only reference to its meaning appeared in the explanatory reason for the 1972 amendments to Section 9-204. Former Section 2 has been eliminated as unnecessary and in some cases confusing. Its operations appears to be arbitrary, and it is believed that the questions considered the meaning of right and collateral as relates to different types of collateral are best left to the court. Now, they had a case here where it talked about, I'm going to read it to you right quick, and then we're going to go on. Let's see here.
Take your time, brother.
All right. He say it has therefore fallen upon the court to assign a meaning to the tautology rights in the collateral. Let me tell you what that word means. The tautology means a saying of the same thing twice in different words. Okay? Now, I want to get to this part where it's up. Now, a trustee in bankruptcy argued that a buyer of a camper had no rights in the collateral sufficient to create a security interest in favor of a secured party. The court disagreed, holding the buyer debtor acquired rights in the camper through the purchase agreement and delivery of possessions pursuant to the security agreement with the seller. A buyer debtor of the collateral, therefore, by virtue of possessing the power to sell, to transfer good title, has the requisite quantum of rights. So what this is saying to you, your debtor, which is the grantor, in your express trust, it has the right to grant property to whom it pleases. Now, you know me, I have to go and find the law and find, something here that tells you, see, this is what I'm saying. When you taking everything and you put it into your express trust, that is foreign to the United States corporation. I just want you to understand that. It's foreign to now we'll get into the part what makes it that. You say, yeah, it's foreign, but what makes it that? Well, let's get into that. And let's see. Now, 9-203, attachment and enforceability of security interest. Proceeds supporting obligation. Small letter in case A, attachment. A security interest attaches to collateral when it becomes enforceable against the debtor with respect to the collateral unless an agreement expressly postpones the time of attachment. Enforceability, except as otherwise provided in subsection C through 1, a security interest is enforceable against the debtor and a third party with respect to the collateral only if been given? Number one. Number two, the debtor has rights in the collateral or the power to transfer rights in the collateral to a secured party. Three, one of the following conditions is met. The collateral is a certificated security in register form, and the security certificate has been delivered to the secured party. Now, this should sound familiar to you all. A seller has a security interest in collateral when the requirements of the UCC 9-203 have been complied with. The parties have made an agreement, a contract of sale, value has been given, the sale price, and the buyer debtor must have had rights to the collateral sufficient to grant the security interest. The security interest, however, may not have attached unless the seller possess the collateral or there is a security agreement, written contract of sale in existence. Now, let's go back to that. Number one, it says value has been given. You see, your express trust that can only express lawful money as specific property in trust, given to trustee of trust to control and manage trust property on behalf of beneficiaries. This is what you list in your trust minutes, brothers and sisters. So you're giving it value by expressing those three coins, those three silver coins. Because your express trust can only express the lawful money side. It cannot express Federal Reserve notes in it. Number two, the debtor has rights in the collateral or the power to transfer rights in the collateral to a secured party. This is saying that your debtor straw man has rights and power to transfer property rights in the collateral to the express trust if one of the following conditions is met. The collateral must be a certificated security in registered form. If you look at UCC 8-102 definition number 4, certificated security means a security that is represented by a certificate. Now, let me do number 3. One of the following conditions is met. The collateral is a certificated security in register form, and the security certificate has been delivered to the secured party. Under Section 8-301, the UCC 8-301, pursuant to the debtor's security agreement. And if you look at UCC 8-102, definition 13, register form, as applied to a certificated security, means a form in which the security certificate specifies a person entitled to the security. And number 2, a transfer of the security may be registered upon books maintained for that purpose by or on behalf of the issuer or the security certificate so states. Now, you all have that certificate of live birth that was created in your county, and then they gave it to the state, and the state created and put a file number on it, and they put it in their registry. Now, I just said to you, you went now and you did an authentication process. See, you have to understand why you are doing things. You authenticated to bring it back from the federal level to the state level, and then you do a counter D, which is a secret writing, and then now you removed it from the hands of the state. You see? So now you took that and you put it into a foreign jurisdiction, which is your trust, your express trust. See, you have to understand the moves that you make with this. So now it's there in the express trust. So all your collateral that you're putting into your express trust, it will be formed and organized under the organization's laws, which it is formed and organized under. So when you were doing your 98 number, let me just go to this right here. UCC 9-307, location of debtor. I want you to listen to it good. Your debtor is listed in your declaration of trust as conveying property to your express trust. If the debtor is doing a conveyance to trust, the debtor will come under the laws where the organization was formed and organized. Now, it says A, place of business. In this section, place of business means a place where a debtor conducts his affairs. B, debtor's location, general rules. Except as otherwise provided in this section, the following rules determines a debtor's location. 1, a debtor who is an individual is located at the individual principal residence. 2, a debtor that is an organization and has only one place of business is located at its place of business. 3, a debtor that is an organization and has more than one place of business is located at its chief executive office. Now, number 3, when you see your debtor, now whatever address that you use, that's going to be the place of the business. However, though, now listen to this. Number 3, a debtor that is an organization and has more than one place of business is located at its chief executive office. This means the principal residence or principal place of business of the express trust. Furthermore, this is why you gave the IRS a foreign address when you received a 9A number. And when you inform the state of and the federal level in your authentication process that the birth certificate use will be what I use is Taipei City, Taiwan. Your debtor will have a long-term relationship with the Express Trust because the Express Trust will be doing business as the debtors. Since the Express Trust is owners of the debtors, then the debtor's principal place of business is also Taipei, Taiwan. And the debtors will come under the laws of the organization, Express Trust, where it is formed or organized. So everything lines up with your court order, Social Security Administration letter, and the W-8 form. Your 9A number is foreign out of Taiwan. The birth certificate use will be Taiwan because that is what you inform them of in your authentication process. Your declaration of trust is foreign out of Taiwan. All your property will be foreign because they are listed on the non-UCC lien under the principal place of business of the Express Trust. The whole ideal of a trust is keeping everything foreign. When you do your non-UCC, it actually shows that transfer is actually moving from the Social Security U.S. person to a foreign trust. So even though you may have a mailing address that you listed for your trust, I'm going to say your debtor here, but once you taken that debtor and put him in the trust, it falls under the laws of that organization. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to find it to you in their own law, the UCC. Now, in UCC 9-102, definitions and index definitions. UCC section 9-102. Number 50, 50. Listen to what it says. Jurisdiction of organization. With respect to a registered organization, means the jurisdiction under whose laws the organization is formed or organized. This means take all names you use in commerce and make them DBA names. The DBA names will be put on a non-UCC lien as collateral. Since your Express Trust principal place of business is Taipei, Taiwan, your trust will come under the laws of the organization where it is formed or organized. So the question asks, where is your Express Trust formed and organized? Jurisdiction is everything because your Express Trust come under the jurisdiction where it is formed and organized. You have to understand that. So your jurisdiction is not under some state law. it falls under the jurisdiction where the organization is formed and organized. And mine is Taipei, Taiwan. So whatever you got in that trust, and that trust is registered, and its principal place of business is Taipei, Taiwan, guess what? So everything that is property in that non-UCC and in your trust, guess what laws this falls up under, brothers and sisters? It falls up under those same laws of the express trust. I hope y'all getting what I'm saying.
And if you don't get it, you call him and set yourself an appointment. It's real simple. Keep it simple. Let yourself be humble and say you don't know much of anything and you need a guide. Please continue, Professor.
Now, let's deal with the trust protector. Because a trust protector may be viewed in the same capacity as a trustee. It is inadvisable to have such person in the United States unless the trust protector's powers are merely passive. Now you say, what do you mean passive? If the powers are passive, meaning the trust protector can veto a trustee's decision or remove the trustee, but cannot force or advise the trustee to undertake an action, then such person may reside in the U.S. There would be no power that such advisor or trust protector possess that may be used by a U.S. court to determine to the detriment of the debtor. So if your trust protector just have mere passive power, then a U.S. court don't have no threat. There's no threat there to it. You see? Because it only has passive power. Let me go on. Now I'm still in the UCC 9-102. No, I take that back. Pardon my incorrect. I correct myself. It's the UCC 9-502. Contempt of financing statement, record of mortgage as financing statement, time of filing, financing statement. A, sufficiency of financing statement. Subject to subsection B, a financing statement is sufficient only if it provides the name of the debtor. You hear that? The name of the debtor. Provides the name of the secured party or a representative of the secured party and indicate the collateral covered by the financing statement. B, real property related financing statement, except as otherwise provided in section 9-501B. To be sufficient, a financing statement that covers an extract collateral or timber to be cut or which is filed as a fixture filing and covers goods that are or are to become fixtures must satisfy subsection A and also indicate that it covers this type of collateral. 2, that's number 1. 2, indicate that it is to be filed for record in the real property record. 3, provide a description of the real property to which the collateral is related, sufficient to give constructive notice of a mortgage under the law of this state if the descriptions were contained in a record of the mortgage of the real property. 4, if the debtor does not have an interest of record in the real property, provide the name of a record owner. Now, C, record of mortgage as financing statement. A record of a mortgage is effective from the date of recording as a financing statement filed as a fixture filing, or as a financing statement covering as extracted collateral or timber to be cut only if the record indicates the goods or accounts that it covers. 2, the goods are or to become fixtures related to the real property described in the record, or the collateral is related to the real property described in the record and is as extract collateral or timber to be cut. The record satisfies the requirements for a financial statement in this section, but the record needs not indicate that it is to be filed in the real property record. And B, the record of sufficiency provides the name of a debtor who is an individual if it provides the individual name of the debtor or the surname and first personal name of the debtor, even if the debtor is an individual to whom section 9-503 in parentheses, small letter A in parentheses 4 applies. Now, I know you all are probably saying, what is a fixture filing and as extract collateral? Okay, we're going to go back to UCC 9-102 definitions. Now, bear with me. Now, we're going to go here. I'm going to break this down for you all right here. Now, where it say a record of mortgage is effective from the date of recording as a financing statement filed as a fixture filing, or as a financing statement covering as extracted collateral or timber to be cut only. If. Now, this means that fixture filing of a financing statement is for covering of goods of transmitting utility, mortgage, phone bill, light bill, gas, or water bill, or other minerals, etc., which are to become fixtures, which means goods that have become so related to particular real property that an interest in them arises under real property law, which is the express trust, common law rights, and jurisdiction. As extracted collateral means oil, gas, water, or other minerals. Your debtor had an interest before the extraction. This is why you authenticated your birth certificate, do all your DVA, and put all real property on the non-UCC lien as property of the express trust. Real estate is taxed, but real property is not taxed according to your county tax map that lists all homes in the county with a reference and registration number. This is why they took you from birthright of the land or soil and put you into the municipal corporation called the District of Columbia, doing business as the United States Federal Corporation. So in other words, let me go to those definitions for you. And it talk about a fixture filing. Fixture filing, that's number 40. UCC 9-102. Fixture filing means the filing of a financing statement covering goods that are or are to become fixtures and satisfying section 9-502. Now, I told you what those goods were. Then a fixture means goods that have become so related to particular real property that an interest in them arises under real property law. And I read to you what those fixtures are. The one that says fixtures, where we at here? Fixture filings, that was your mortgage, your phone bill, your light bill, your gas, or your water bills. All of what they call fixture filings. And fixture means goods that have become so related to particular real property, such as that house and all that comes there with that house. That can be your water, lights, phone, all of that.
So what you're saying, and I'm just paraphrasing your words just to process, they removed the indigenous status of most of us, as they did in Virginia, changing the indigenous people, what others would call Native American status, to Negroes and coloreds for the purpose of uh, pimping them for like a parasite to take their money in bills, taxes, real estate. In other words, to become literally a corporate slave of a corporation like McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's, and they got you in the basement of Burger King, McDonald's, or Wendy's with the hatch door greased up and closed and got you voting for a corporate president and have you out in the streets throwing popcorn at the McDonald's president and you the landlord. If that ain't insanity and slickness, I don't know what is.
And I'm gonna break that down. Let me just break it down. Let me simplify it even more. See, we don't understand what the title of nobility means or what it is. And this is why I'm going to keep telling you, and I don't care if you get mad, I'm going to keep saying it. If you don't have that court order, you will always be a 14th Amendment, quasi, 1 foot over one side and 1 foot over the other side. Now the question is, what you going to do to get your title of nobility back? I just already told you what you need to do. You got to go into the court. You got to have the court order in order for you to do that. Now, your title of nobility was stripped from you when you were first born into the world and issued to your informant mother a contract called a birth certificate, and she signed it. And this is considered corruption of the blood, which took you from the land and put you into a corporation called the District of Columbia Organic Act 1871 Corporation as a disenfranchised employee, which means you have been deprived of your title of nobility. The power of signature under the jurisdiction of the Express Trust Great Seal is to undo any foreclosures cases of what the county has done. The type of court you use will determine the jurisdiction to get you a certain type of outcome. If you file a lawsuit that is a foreign jurisdiction to you, then you can expect a favorable outcome to tilt in your favor. Why? You are bringing a lawsuit from the position of the Express Trust. So under the power of the Express Trust Great Seal, you can issue titulus, which is Latin for title in English. What gives a title its power is the government that stands behind it, and the people who says, I stand under the jurisdiction of that government. This should sound familiar to you because your Express Trust functions as a government apart from the United States Corporation. I taught this to you before. And I told you when everyone is in the Express Trust, how we are setting up government. I did a show on this. Now, you must know the significance and understand what it is that you're doing. Now, when you first got your 98 number, you told the IRS that was set up in a foreign country, but not under the Hague. You had to choose a country that was not under the Hague. You see? So you made it foreign. Now, you did that because you knew that you were going to get a spiritual name. And that name was not going to be attached to a social security number. That will always also keep you foreign. So now, you have your 98 number. You're setting up your trust. Your trust is going to take on that number also. Same name. Trust will have the same name like your spiritual name. The only difference, it has express trust on the end of it. Now, so we all know that anyone who's carried a Social Security number is classified as a U.S. citizen. I don't care what you say. When you get that court order and you go down to Social Security Administration and tell them this name will never have a Social Security number to it, and you ask them to give you the letter with their letterhead on it, they'll give it to you. And it will tell you that spiritual name is not attached to a Social Security number. So now the question asks, everyone who's worrying about a damn mortgage, are they going to foreclose on me? Well, hell, if you took the house and you put it into the trust and you trust it up, you put it on the non-UCC lien, and you had it under the jurisdiction of your organization in which it was formed and organized. I hope y'all getting what I'm saying. So how could they foreclose on you when the property is listed on a foreign jurisdiction, out of their jurisdiction? See, when you understand what you're doing, and you're probably saying right now, I kind of see where he's going with it now. You must be foreign, not quasi. Not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, unacceptable. Ain't happening. Now, if you stop using the Social Security number and use the 98 number, that would be proof of foreign status. They are basically prescribing the use of the W-8DN form to you for your proof of foreign status. The Internal Revenue Service will assign this status to the individual Social Security number as a non-resident alien. Express trust, which further means that you would not be considered a part of the United States. So if you are not considered a part of the United States, your debt is in the non-UCC lien. You as a natural person is in the non-UCC lien. And also your express trust is protecting everything that is in that non-UCC lien. So how could anybody come and take anything from you? See, if you is set up properly, you won't have that problem. As a trustee, you can sleep good at night. And then you don't need no foreign trustee to do nothing for you. When you go into the court and get the court order, I'm going to set the record straight with it. Go into the court and get the court order. You don't need to go talking about looking for no foreign trustee nowhere else. Why? It's because you're already foreign to the corporation. You have to remember, the United States is not a country, brothers and sisters. You keep forgetting the geography. It's only a corporation with its own corporate policies and its provisions and all of that. That's it. And then if you're going to run talking about getting some foreign trustee, what are they going to do for you? See, you working too hard. Because you know you still a U.S. person on 14th Amendment. But what if things go down and then that trustee don't even have no idea what you're doing? I know what you're going to say, well, I'm going to get me a authorized person. See, again, you're avoiding from wanting to be a real true aborigine.
But you know what? I'm going to say this right now. There's folks that's concerned about losing a Social Security check. What do you tell them, brother?
Let me put it to you this way. I just read to you. I'm going to read it again.
I know you ain't got to read it again. Just say it.
No. I have to read it again.
Because if they can't figure out when you...
I'm going to read it again. Remember, we 500 years behind. I got to read it.
Okay, go ahead.
The Internal Revenue Service will assign this status to the individual Social Security number. I keep telling y'all they ain't getting rid of the Social Security number. They just attaching now your true status. They're not getting rid of it. They're just in their system saying, well, this is here. He's a Moor now. He's not a U.S. citizen anymore. And they're making you a non-resident alien, which further means that you would not be considered a part of the United States. That's not taking any benefits that you already established under that straw man. Only thing you're doing is conveying everything over to your foreign side, your private side. Well, if you worry about that, why waste the time in even trying to do this? Why waste time? Why waste your time? Don't you want to be free? Don't you?
Maybe they just want to.
Don't you want to know how it feels to be free? You're not free on that side. See, what the problem is, you just don't know how to operate on this side. That's what you're afraid of. So you want to hold on to that over there, and then you want to straddle the finish. I know. Because you don't believe it's good over there because you never been over on that side. Remember, I told you when you was born, your mother gave you up.
You were sold into.
I'm trying to show you how to do the opposite in reverse. The same way they did you when you were born. They issued a birth certificate and then a social security number. And now I'm doing the opposite of that. I'm telling you, go get your court order. You see?
And free yourself.
Now you're going to get a 9-8 number. And then you're going to set yourself up. You can't go wrong. You're just doing the opposite. See, that's what that fear does. That false education accepted real.
False evidence appearing real. Fear.
See, that fear is a killer if you don't know how to handle it. Now, listen to this. By one getting a 9-8 number, it goes with your spiritual or national name. When you took on a 9-8 number, you took on the actual new more name, Allah, Ali, Bey, Day, El, without a social security number. See, I told you I'm doing the opposite in reverse. This means you have taken on the new man. When you got the 9-8 number free, it now set you free and made you a foreigner to the United States Federal Corporation and not a disenfranchised employee. Title 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 15A. This further means you have expatriated, renounced citizenship, and moved outside of the United States from her sins, i.e. birth certificate, social security number, driver's license, food stamp card, etc. Now, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. Congress shall have power to exercise exclusive legislation, writing and passing laws, that's what legislation means, in all cases whatsoever over such district, area of locality not exceeding 10 miles square. That's what such district means. As made by sessions giving up, C-E-S-S-I-O-N, sessions means giving up, of particular states, and acceptance of Congress becomes the seat of government of the United States. See, your congressmen's them same ones you voting, like he just said, you voting to put a corporate president into office.
Mickey D's, and you think it's real.
And you think it's real. You around here telling lying, telling people how people died for voting and all, just telling them lies. Those are lies. Our people wasn't dying for no voting. We getting our damn heads cracked. No, and you around talking about we was dying for voting? Come on, man, stop the lying. Your congressmen are the government. They become the seat of government of the United States. What is the United States? A federal corporation.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chuck E. Cheese.
And you exercise life authority over all places purchased by the consent of the legislature, meaning the administration or governing body. of the state in which the same shall be, for the erection of fort, that's the military compounds, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings. You put your 9-8 spiritual name and birth name under the express trust for protection. This means you have taken on righteous and true holiness. In other words, you are going to be protected and function as the 9-8 number under the express trust. This means you have been hosed down and taken on a new character, which also means born of water and spirit. Last, your 9-8 number is what made you born again. You no longer seek protection under the United States Federal Corporation because you came out from the United States Express Trust and went into your private Express Trust, and you came back to the land under justly, which is a Latin term meaning the birthright law of the soil. Now, you have entered into the kingdom of the Creator because you are transformed with a new mind and spirit.
Now, how come you don't take that to your church?
You see? Come on, brothers and sisters. You got to come from under her. That's why your book say, come out of her. Come out of her. Don't you want to come out of her? I told you 2 shows ago, I gave you all my experience from having the court order, the Social Security Administration letter, and what was the other one? The court order, the Social Security Administration letter, and I think it was also the passport.
Oh,
I meant say the W-8 bin, the W-8 bin. And even in your passport, when you have your court order and you attach that, you know, you have to attach some documents to it. And when you attach those documents, they're going to put in their database that you are a non-resident alien, not a part of the United States. How I know that? When the sheriff boys pulled me over and they ran that ID, that passport ID, that's exactly what he told me out of his mouth. He said, hey, you're not in our system.
you're not in our Mickey D club with a Mickey D ID, with a Mickey D voting card, and a Mickey D tax.
I'm trying to tell you, family, if you get that court order, now let me say this to you. See, I went straight in. I went straight into the court. But the way I'm doing it now, I am going to put your affidavit of denial of U.S. citizenship to show cause to renunciate. I will put that inside of your trust, express it in your trust minutes. I'm forming it just like my court order with that language. It's almost like I'm telling the judge to grant it to you. That's how I style it up. Now, I didn't go in this way, but this is the way I'm doing it now. So now what happens after that, then I show you how to petition the court again. Where you motion the court, you go back in on that matter. You're coming in for a correction of your name, race, nationality. I'm going to give you the prima facie evidence. You say, well, what is that? That would be the 2 court orders that I would give you. One of mine from me, and the other one's from a brother that I helped in Miami. He also got his court order. So when I give you those, you'll file those into your case. So when you go in front of the judge, you're going in and he will have to rule on that according to stare decisis and precedents. It should be a little easier for you. If you know how to go in there and just stand on that. But you got to do a little talking. If he asks you why you're here, well, Judge, I'm here on this matter based upon stare decisis and precedents. There was 2 notice of related cases filed into this case. Do you have those, sir? He would say, well, yes. He would say, well, now, you will have to make a ruling according to stare decisis and precedents based on the evidence that you have in front of you, Judge, because what was granted in one state should also be granted in another state. That's what we call full faith and credit.
And that's what is called movement of Ja people. Exodus. That's what it's about, family.
Yes. And I'm trying to tell you all how you can do it now. When you ready to come to me to get your trust business done, I put that in there for you. And I give you the prima facie evidence, which is the 2 court orders. Because when he look at that, he's standing up looking at you, the same thing he's looking at on that, that's the same thing you're requesting. Name, race, nationality. He has to grant it. Because the proof is right there in front of him. And he will be prejudiced in it. He will be what you call prejudiced in the case. He will prejudice the case. He can't prejudice the case because it's been granted in another state.
Listen, family, what our brother Professor Bey is presenting to you, you're going to have to bend your mind. You need a whole mental reboot because you've been wired and programmed to be a slave. So you got to study and study hard because it's almost as if the slave that you was born into ignorantly by your parents, and you're actually nobility. You're actually the goddess, the god, the king, the queen with nobility, and all that's been stripped from you because our ancestors did not deal with these opportunistic individuals coming to our shores. We was like, yeah, everything's peace and love, and they moved like a virus across the land.
And another thing I want to point out, and when you go in, I have a guide to show you the things that you can say. So I won't leave you high and dry. I give you a guidance to show you when you go in there what you can say to the judge. So you can get him to grant that order because he's already looking at the proof in his hands with the court orders he got.
Don't give him no more tonight. That's enough. It's almost 10:15. Family, if you want to begin the process for your mental reboot, study and show yourself approved. And you're not going to get this overnight. And this is not no one pill solution. Mr. Bey 33169@gmail.com. Or call him at 786-624-8257. You're going to have to, everything you've been taught is a lie. This is like the Matrix. This is like the movie Unlimited, all combined in your carbon spacesuit. I want to thank you, Professor Bey, for dropping it like you did.
Thank you, sir. And I always try to come, family, because I really want to just see us free. You know, it just can't be a few of us and not the masses of the masses of us. It has to be the majority of us. That's the only way we're going to bring Morocco back. I'm trying to help you out. I've already done this.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid of your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, if it's good for me, it should be good for you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be free? Ask yourself that.
Hey, listen. Fear freezes you up, family. Fear will freeze you up. You're going to have to get a mental lobotomy from all the bullshit you've been taught from your church, because you never even asked your church what bank they deal with. You can need a mental lobotomy as far as who you think you are as a McDonald's member. You need a lobotomy from all that you've been taught. You need a lobotomy. Thank you again, Professor Bey.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, family, for listening. Peace to the guys. You all have a safe night.
Right on, right on, right on. And the church said,
peace.
Amen. Peace. Say often, yes, I am. Supreme shield of protection surrounding me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am remembering all I was born to do. Yes, I am. Take hold of your crystal, which will magnify your I am affirmations at least 600%. If you don't have a pistol, you better have a crystal. Bring forth.
Yes,
I am.
remember,
Lives
you
inside
are